WHAS11 night team, a fire intentionally set. New details about the violence in Fairdale. One man is dead, a woman badly hurt.
It's just odd for this neighborhood to have such happenings.
Also tonight, a WHAS11 News Focus investigation. We look at the case of another sheriff in southern Indiana accused of lavish spending.
But I say if you rob a bank and pay it back, you still rob the bank.
But unlike former Sheriff Jamie Knoll of Clark County, this sheriff isn't in jail and faces no charges. Our investigation is tonight. Plus, time for a do-over. Louisville's oldest community gathering spot overlooking the Ohio River.
But it's so removed from Main Street and it's so removed from the Riverwalk that I think it makes people a little nervous.
The plans to overhaul the Belvedere. Tonight we learned the one thing they won't be doing. Right now on the WHAS11 Night Team. All new tonight, police say a man set a home on fire in Fairdale, then barricaded himself and a woman inside that burning home. He died. The woman is badly hurt. And hello, everybody. Thank you very much for staying up late with us tonight on the WHAS11 Night Team. I'm Doug Proffitt. The new details are coming out after the fire that happened last night at about 5 o'clock. WHAS11 Night Team's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Levi Hammer are talking to neighbors tonight, truly stunned at the violence on their street.
The wind blows chimes on the front porch of a home in a usually quiet Fairdale neighborhood. A bus drops kids off from school, and they play in the street.
I think that's the best part of living here is just feeling secure and knowing that everything on a regular basis is just quiet and normal.
But at this home on June Drive, a child's bicycle now sits next to a pile of caution tape, and charred clothing lays in a pile in the yard. This is the scene from Sunday night. Fairdale Fire and Okolona Fire Departments were called to a fire on the second floor of the June Drive home. Louisville Fire did say that the fire was started intentionally.
It's going to be a domestic situation of a male setting the house on fire.
The Louisville Fire Department's Metro Arson Bureau said that 38-year-old Matthew Hodge intentionally started the fire and then prevented a woman from leaving, barricading the both of them inside a burning home. Neither of them are the homeowners, and both were taken to University Hospital, where Hodge died and the woman was seriously hurt.
Who sets someone else's house on fire and hurts another person? You've destroyed a home.
Gina Henley lives just down the street and was sitting in her living room when tragedy struck.
All I saw was fire truck. Fire truck.
Henley has lived on this block since 2018 and calls the neighborhood quiet and uneventful.
It is a rare occurrence here. You don't see it. So seeing it, it just really kind of shakes you up a little bit. And you ask yourself, what if that were me? What would I do? How would I handle this?
The sounds of children playing in the street replaced by sirens.
You just lose a sense of security, a sense of being safe in your own home.
A neighborhood shaken up. And looking forward to their street being quiet once again. In Fairdale, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
When firefighters got inside that house, they discovered the fire on the second floor. The coroner says Matthew Hodge is from Cox's Creek, Kentucky. As for the investigation, the Louisville Fire Department says everyone involved in this has been accounted for. Brand new and exclusive right now with the Night Team, a focus team investigation. A sheriff in Indiana caught misusing thousands of dollars in taxpayer money to buy trips for his wife and gifts for deputies. Does that sound familiar to you around here in Kentuckiana? Well, Sheriff Tom Kleinhelter, based in Jasper, Indiana, has paid back over $25,000 after a state audit and a police investigation found him abusing the jail commissary fund. Unlike the former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll, he was never charged. Focus investigator Travis Breeze shows us the extravagant purchases the Sheriff Kleinhelter made with public money and if he's ever been held accountable.
These are trusted people at a time in our world that you got to do the right thing.
In early 2024, the Indiana State Board of Accounts did a routine audit of Du Bois County. It found in the first 5 years of Sheriff Tom Kleinhelter's tenure, he misspent nearly $17,000 from the jail commissary on trips for his wife and buying 22-inch flat-top Blackstone grills and Visa gift cards as gifts for his deputies.
It's not an account that you can just use with whatever you want.
Doug Carter is a former sheriff of Hamilton County and recently retired after 12 years as Indiana State Police Superintendent. He boils the Kleinhelter case down to one sentence.
Anyone else in Indiana would have been arrested, period.
The jail commissary is funded through inmates buying snacks and personal hygiene items. Sheriffs can use the money for jail improvements, programming for inmates, or any purpose that benefits the sheriff's department if they get county council approval.
He was going to do things that were impractical and probably illegal.
The audit says Kleinhelter did not get approval when he paid for Angie Kleinhelter to accompany him to various law enforcement conferences, including over $7,300 for a planned trip to the World Police Summit in Dubai that was going to happen in May 2025. Kleinhelter reimbursed the commissary with a personal check of $16,774 in June 2024, 1 month before the audit came out.
And Kleinhelter paid back all the money in June. What did you think of that timeline?
Well, that's not accurate. That's not how the money was paid back. None of it happened that fast.
After the audit was over, an ISP investigation began. Detective Jeff Herron interviewed Kleinhelter and filed several search warrants. In one of them, Kleinhelter revealed he canceled the Dubai trip entirely. Herron said the sheriff was, quote, attempting to circumvent paying back his portion of the trip. Herron also found another $1,400 paid out of the commissary for Angie to go to a training in French Lick, Indiana. Herron included a photo of a special deputy appointment that Kleinhelter tried to do for his wife in June 2024. That was after all the spending had occurred.
Proves intent. It proves deception. It proves that he was not going to comply.
The search warrant says Kleinhelter paid back another $8,700 to the commissary during the criminal investigation for Angie's training and his portion of the Dubai trip. Around this same time, Indiana State Police was wrapping up the Jamie Knoll investigation. Court records in that case showed Knoll and his family took over $3 million from his nonprofit ambulance company, New Chapel EMS. The former Clark County Sheriff also misspent $738,000 from his jail commissary. Knoll got a 12-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to 27 felonies.
Did you see a lot of similarities between the Kleinhelter case and the Knoll case?
Some people will say that they're totally different because they weren't of the same value. But I say if you rob a bank and pay it back, you still rob the bank.
Herron submitted his findings in the Kleinhelter case to Holly Huddleston, the special prosecutor from Orange County, in February 2025. That was 1 month after Doug Carter retired. Huddleston did not file any charges.
Sheriff Kleinhelter did not respond to my request for an interview in this story to give his point of view or refute anything in the search warrant. He did post a message on Facebook in April where he said in part, "I have consistently maintained my innocence, asserting that I have engaged in absolutely no criminal activity. I firmly stand by this position, which is supported by the findings of the special prosecutor."
There are certain things that happen that wouldn't happen to any other citizen, and I think the outcome is completely wrong.
Huddleston didn't respond to multiple requests for comment. The Du Bois County clerk says she never filed a final determination explaining the lack of charges. While Huddleston didn't see criminal charges, the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board did.
We believe that conduct rises to the level of perjury as a level 6 felony.
The board voted on August 18th to send Kleinhelter's license to the Subcommittee on Decertification. The board cited its authority to review conduct that, quote, would be a criminal offense even if the officer was not charged.
Over time, they think that no one's going to catch it. Is it always nefarious and with a criminal intent? No. But when it's over and over and over and over, it leads one to believe that it likely is.
Carter was the longest-serving ISP superintendent in history. This case was one of a handful still open when he left, and he doesn't feel justice was served.
After the investigation into Kleinhelter concluded, Detective Jeff Herron was suspended for 2 days and reassigned at the discretion of the new superintendent, Anthony Scott. Scott believed that Herron disclosed info to county officials during the investigation and that he was, quote, overbearing to the special prosecutor. In the studio, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
More local news tonight on the night team. Union workers who keep Louisville's public housing running and maintained are in high-stakes negotiations at the moment for a new contract. More than 100 employees with the Metro Housing Authority handle daily repairs and upkeep. They're pushing to protect their health care benefits and to keep their jobs from outsourcing to private contractors. Residents say that losing that in-house expertise would be devastating.
One night I heard something go boom. I get up, big old hole came through my ceiling and water was everywhere. And I called the emergency line, nobody came out.
The Housing Authority says outside companies may still be called in at times, but the staff warns years of deferred maintenance already are stretching them thin. They argue cutting jobs now would put families at greater risk.
We put Band-Aids on bullet holes in most cases, like we don't have either the right tools or enough time in the day to fix all the problems.
The Housing Authority's union current contract expires September 22nd. When asked about claims of overtime getting cut off the last year, a spokesperson told WHAS11 News today they scaled it back because some workers were abusing it. They now only offer non-emergency overtime for employees who have shown, quote, accountability and strong performance, end quote. Happening new tonight since 6, it's been 9 months since Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced a redesign for the 52-year-old Louisville Belvedere downtown. Now reality is setting in as the project is expected to be a bit smaller than originally planned. WHS11's Jose Alonso has been following this story with new drone video for you tonight. And Jose, where are they making the biggest change? Of course, the Belvedere overlooking the Ohio River.
Doug, building over the river has proved to be one of those issues that the project executive says was going to be too costly and unsafe. Just take a look at this new rendering we found on Metro's website showing a now flat edge over I-65. Mind you, these renderings can still change with time, but photojournalist Aspen Hester and we were at tonight's community listening session where they explained this change.
It was just a week ago that Louisville's Belvedere was crowded for World Fest. But now, from the Sky 11 drone, you can see how desolate it gets on a normal weekday.
I remember being a teenager and going downtown for something or other, and I wasn't even sure if I was allowed to walk up on the Belvedere, right? Because I couldn't tell if it was public or not.
Metro Louisville wants to breathe life back into the 5.5-acre community space that was built in 1973.
We had a record-breaking World Fest. We know it can be a great place for wonderful festivals. But for the other 350-something days a year, what do people want in downtown Louisville that will draw them there?
On January, Mayor Craig Greenberg released these renderings from Heatherwick, a company based in London. But now, in a new set of public listening sessions, this slight downsized rendering is being presented by the project executive, Layla George.
We want to design something magnificent and spectacular, but we also want to be good stewards of the public funds.
This project will cost an estimated $125 million, and constructing over the river was deemed too costly and unsafe, as cranes would have to be placed on barges floating on the water.
Yeah, I think you'll see a little bit less directly over the highway. We realize that building that close to the river and over an interstate system is incredibly expensive. And so I think you'll see some of that moving south to over the parking garage.
Regardless of the complications, residents like Owen Graham, who takes his kids to Waterfront Park's new Playport, says he's glad Louisville continues to invest in itself.
I'm glad that there's some urgency and they're going to move forward on it. I just hope that they continue to engage with the community and make sure that what they do is going to be the right decision for the next 40 years.
The project executive says they also want to focus on fixing the parking garage that's in disrepair underneath the Belvedere. There are 4 more community sessions happening this month, and if you can't make them all, you can still fill out a survey to make your voice heard. We have a link with more information that's on our website, WHAS11.com. Reporting live in studio, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
Jose, thank you. Such interesting designs. Well, right after this, racial profiling. The U.S. Supreme Court lifts restrictions on aggressive immigration enforcement tactics by federal agents as the city of Chicago tonight is now watching a surge of ICE agents and federal operations building there tonight.
And the fall weather is taking a pause. We got a warming trend on the way for us as we head towards the middle part of this week and the end of the week. I'll be telling that out coming up in just a few minutes. And also take a look at the Kentucky Lottery jackpot, Mega Millions.